What does T4T mean? T4T means trans for trans and describes trans couples. Let's react.
T4T is basically when a trans person prefers to date other trans people. This can be for a lot of different reasons, the most prominent being comfort and safety. For example, a trans person living in a conservative area might prefer to date other trans people because they only feel safe coming out to other trans people.
It's about comfort and safety. Okay, so non-trans people, meaning 99.9% of the population, would make trans people feel unsafe if dating them. I don't buy it. I love how dramatic these people are. They think it's dangerous to be a trans person in conservative areas, but it's not dangerous. The way woke people describe the United States is like they're describing Saudi Arabia or any other country in the Middle East. Except for Israel, of course. Am Israel Chai. Real and fake trans Americans are super lucky to live in the United States. So I don't think it makes sense to say I only want to date other trans people because I can only feel safe this way.
So, we are a trans couple.
We're a trans couple.
And being trans in a relationship is pretty amazing. I think the most affirming thing is just being with someone who has never misgendered me and could never, because you've done the work to be able to see yourself. You see me. Like, you actually see me. Even before physically transitioning, you've always seen me.
What does that mean? I know you meant that in a spiritual way, but we're talking about gender, and you can actually, with your own eyes, see gender. Gender isn't spiritual. Gender is a fact about what you are. Anyone can misgender someone, even trans people themselves. Believe it or not, but trans people do not have an X-ray vision. Unfortunately, we do not have superpowers. Do you think that trans people can stand in front of people and be like, I think you are they, he? What you're actually talking about and experiencing is people lying to you. Of course I see you as a woman, even though you're a man. And you want this fake behavior and fake affirmation. Why? I don't know.
I feel sometimes incredibly invisible in my non-binary identity. And I don't feel like you perceive me as a binary man. And that's really important to me.
I feel like because we're both trans people and we're both non-binary people, it doesn't feel like we need to fall into either or any gender role.
I'm a bit confused. How can you feel what others view you as? And what does it mean to be seen as a non-binary person? Maybe that's why you feel invisible, because the identity is not a real thing. I have some advice for you guys. If you just stop believing that there are only certain things men can do, women can do, if you stop believing in gender roles, in other words, you don't need to identify as non-binary. Doing this is easy, and it's free. You're welcome. Not having to worry about if he sees me as a boy because we're T4T. This is trans ideology. This is a girl who would never transition, so she looks like a man. She never needs to transition or prove that she's trans because her partners, and most likely all of her friends, are all within the same cult, believes in the same ideology. She has a girlfriend who also identifies as a trans guy, so this couple can live happily ever after, affirming each other's delusions. But are they really happy? One of the things I say almost in every single video I make is, you cannot be truly happy if you live in Delulu land. Boyfriend who wants to get rid of his tits, girlfriend who wants bigger tits. The disturbing part is she actually got top surgery, and she's now on testosterone. She was married to a man, and then they got divorced because she came out as a lesbian, and now this, back to dating a man, apparently. Why do these people need to post this on TikTok, on the internet? Can't you just be a couple without telling the whole world that you're happy? Well, if you have to say it all the time, is it because you're trying to convince yourself you're happy? Generally speaking, the couples who have to post constantly about their relationship are the most unhappy ones.
If I wasn't trans, I wouldn't be having these T4T experiences. This is going to sound so cheesy, but it's genuinely one of the most beautiful parts that I've found of being trans, is having these interactions with people that I think cishet people wouldn't ever really quite understand.
Cishet means cisgender heterosexual people. These people sound so irrational, so brainwashed, extremely ideological, and to some degree spiritual. Or can I say, fake spiritual. Trans activists think if they date other trans people, they would have a relationship that is so unique that you can't even explain it to the rest of the world because they would never understand. Okay, chill. If your partner comes from the same cult as you, it would make sense you have a deep connection because you're equally as brainwashed. You both believe in Fantasyland and believe that there are more than two genders, that you can be trapped in the wrong body, and children can be trans. So yeah, most people do not understand those things. Thank God. No pun intended.
Barriers to dating, it's not even that people are transphobic. I mean, obviously some people are, but a lot of people are just ignorant or misinformed. They decide that I could never date a trans person because of this one fact that probably isn't true.
It's called attraction, honey, and I hope you agree with me that you can't help what sex you're attracted to. Unfortunately, I know you disagree with me, and that's really sad. But it is funny you agree with religious fanatics who believe that conversion therapy helps. Especially because you hate these people. But you act like them. You can't convince yourself to be attracted to certain people you're not attracted to. Your body doesn't lie. If the D won't get hard, if the P won't get wet, there's nothing you can do. Unless you support SA or the R word. I really hope you don't. Why can't you just date the people who you want to date and who want to date you also, and then just try to be happy and keep your mouth shut? Stop policing what other people are attracted to. It is great that you as a trans man can find people who are attracted to you. I am also lucky to have a boyfriend who's attracted to me, and I'm attracted to him, of course. Okay, now I'm getting distracted because I'm thinking of him. But there's nothing wrong with two consenting adults being together. The only problem I have with T4T couples is the social contagion aspect of it. As you all know, the only reason why we see such a huge rise in young people identifying as trans nowadays is due to social contagion. Young people see trans influencers on social media and want to be like them. And it's becoming more common to have friends who are also trans. I hope I can find this picture, but I saw this picture on Twitter of 5 girls holding their testosterone shots. They're all friends and they think it's really nice that they can inject themselves with testosterone together as a team. And it's effing disturbing. What's not so common, but it is a thing, is seeing T4T couples doing the same thing. I don't post videos on TikTok because they always get removed for hate speech. TikTok believes that what I'm saying is harmful, but this is not. What's wrong, Marcus? They're not telling people to do the same. I know, but they are literally glamorizing this whole thing, and that is the disgusting part. They're creating a narrative that it's perfectly normal and fine to transition with your partner, when it's not. Being a transsexual, the real kind, is so effing rare. Statistically speaking, it's almost impossible for a real transsexual to fall in love with another transsexual. Again, the real kind. Correction, this couple is not glamorizing trans for trans couples because they're not trans. They're glamorizing and trying to normalize fake trans people getting a medical gender transition even though it wouldn't benefit them. As I said, the problem is not two consenting adults dating. What is the problem is the whole concept of social contagion. Trans activists will only be around people who think like them, who affirm their delusions about what they think they are. It's not healthy, and I want these people to be out in the real world instead. No matter what, they can't escape reality, nor should anyone. And of course, the biggest problem here is to try to spread a trans ideology, glamorizing what it means to be trans, especially when you're not even trans yourself. Thank you all for watching this video. If you want to see more content like this, remember to hit subscribe and the notification bell. If you want to support me and my work, my PayPal is in the description down below. You can also support me through locals.com or by becoming a member of this channel. I love you all and I hope to see you in my next video. Peace out.